Hey everyone, want to welcome you to this study I've got with a incredible local marketer, and literally his business has been able to take off. And so he's allowed me to kind of go behind the scenes of this business and really learn what's been the secret to his success and how fast he's been able to become successful, especially when it comes to everybody making sure that they're in some type of mastermind, some type of process where they can follow a system. So welcome, Paul. How are you?
Great, David. It's great to be here. Appreciate everything you've done for me.
Hey, my pleasure, man. But really, you've got a chance. What I love about people that are being real successful is them pouring back into the marketplace and inspiring others. So give me a quick idea before you were in the mastermind, maybe even before you were into reputation marketing, kind of what was business like and what were some of the problems or issues that you were really struggling with?
Sure. Before joining the mastermind, like everybody else, I was focusing on a lot of the standard traditional online marketing products and services like SEO and website design and things like that. And I was always trying to be ahead of the game. So I was out there looking for any type of product or service that I thought could help my business grow. So I was buying all these different products that I came across, and probably like everybody else out there, half of them I tried to learn. The other half I just bought and let them lay there because I didn't have enough time for it. So I was struggling. I was struggling with finding a system that worked. I was struggling with trying to grow my business. I really wasn't focused like I needed to be. And then I came across you and joined the mastermind, and things started to really come together for me. And I learned from you, and I learned from a lot of other mastermind people about different ways of growing businesses and adding systems and such. And it's been a great help to me.
Well, I think it's a really important part is that nobody should be doing life alone, and especially when you're in a fast-paced marketplace like local marketing, you don't have to do that alone. You should be inside a community that supports you, where you can get your questions asked. So no matter what type of business you've got, I think right now one of the commitments everybody needs to make is you need to be in some type of mastermind. I'm in literally 3 other masterminds of some of the top local marketers in the world, and I'm always sharpening my sword. We all come together and we learn from each other. So I want everybody listening right now about taking the time to invest in your business, invest in your future by getting inside a mastermind. Now, Paul, tell me a little bit about the percentage of increase that's happened because of the strategies or because of you being focused and a mastermind really adding to that focus.
Sure, I've been in the mastermind for probably. This is my second one I've been through, so it's probably been about 6-8 months. In the last 6 months, my business has grown by 71% alone, and I've added an additional 40% to my bottom line. And I would say the majority of all that growth is coming from everything I've learned from you and the other people in the masterminds that I've been a part of.
See, that's really brilliant. I want to bookmark that as well. I mean, you're talking about significant growth when you're inside a mastermind, when you've got like-minded individuals. And so let me define mastermind for everybody. That's when 2 minds come together and really they create a third and more powerful mind. So you can really brainstorm, really kind of like iron sharpen iron, take it to a whole nother level. So Paul, what's one of the, without giving away the secret strategies and the sauce that are proprietary, because there'll be a lot of people watching this case study, what are the kind of general things that you've taken away from the mastermind that are very practical, that someone right now you can say, look, if you just did this, this would really help you in your business?
I think 2 things really, David. I think number one is getting away from those bright, shiny objects that we all have a tendency to buy and trying to learn new things on. That's what I was mentioning about before. But secondly is a system. And I think having a lead generation and lead conversion system is probably the 2 most important things in anybody's business. And that's really what I've used to be able to grow my business by that 71% in the last 6 months. And it's all following your strategies that you put in place, and obviously listening to a lot of the other people in the mastermind group. Your Facebook group that you put together for your Genius Mastermind and Elite Mastermind has been extremely helpful, and people can share ideas back and forth. And it's allowed me to even take some of the ideas that you've had and grow upon them and be able to do some of the strategies that we put together as well.
So what's a real strong strategy that you've taken away out of the probably 30 that we actually go over, like a 1, 2, 3 is me, or a hangout? Give me something that I can really sink my teeth into, or you can encourage others. Say, look, definitely learn this type of a strategy.
To me, it's the foot in the door strategy that we use, and one of the ones I've taken away the greatest and has been the most successful for me is the hangout strategy. Being able to to use your Lead Kahuna system, which to me is an awesome lead generator. I've used that and offered free Hangout sessions, video interviews, things along those lines, whether it's through email or Facebook messaging or things like that, using Lead Kahuna. And the response that I've gotten from the Hangout offers have been tremendous. Every day I get
When
up.
you say tremendous, let me. And a lot of people have heard of Google Hangouts, and a lot of people might even purchased a course, and there's training on doing Hangouts and doing interviews and all kinds of really cool things you can do with Hangouts. I think what I have is a little bit different because I don't give you a concept and just say, here's the concept, now go get them, Tiger. I actually write down every word for word, line for line. Matter of fact, let me not say it myself. Why don't you explain to everybody else, when I give a strategy, if I allow you to even deviate from it because it's so detailed. So why don't you kind of explain your experience with even one strategy like the Hangout strategy?
Sure. I'll start from the beginning with like a Facebook messaging program where I use one of your scripts that you've put together, and I'll put it in Lead Kahuna, generate the leads, send it out via Facebook message, and using the exact same script that you have in your program, all of a sudden I'll start getting responses back from the potential leads that I've sent it to. And then once they send it back to me saying, hey, I'm interested in talking to you, I call them, and I use another script that you have. And I go through that script with them, explaining what the interview is all about, explaining what we're looking for in return, and then it's basically at no cost to them, and I give them a value of that Hangout and tell them I'm picking up the entire cost, and it's almost a no-brainer for them to be able to say, yeah, let's set this up, and then from there.
So what's the response now? To give everybody clarity, is you've got to have an irresistible offer. So we've got an irresistible offer that we've developed, and we will help everybody in the mastermind develop. And in the mastermind, when you've got the irresistible offer, then literally your business changes because instead of going to try to find business comes to you. So what are some of the percentages and kind of what's been some of the success, at least getting your foot in the door to talk to CEOs and business owners?
I get about a 25 to 30% response rate to the Facebook messages I've sent out, and once I actually get that response from them, getting past the gatekeeper and using some of the strategies and scripts that you've given us, once I get to the CEO, my closing rate's about 70%. And that's basically talking directly to the CEO. And really, it all boils down to the fact that they're getting a free video, that they can use, an interview that's going to set them up as an expert in the marketplace. So it's easy to close that type of a ratio.
And let me talk about that for a second, because this strategy, which is one of many strategies that I teach, people can talk about doing a Hangout interview and say, or doing a Hangout, but I think it's important everybody realizes that talk about the detail and the psychology of almost every sentence by sentence, word for word, all the way to get to the proposal, how it's laid out. Could you give a little bit of context for that?
Are you talking about specific wording itself, or are you talking about...
No, just maybe attest to the detail versus, hey, here's an idea. Now, you go to a sales seminar, you go to a mastermind, and someone gives an idea and throws it out, and then someone, tries like, oh, that really doesn't work because they did a certain way, or the other person says, oh, this really doesn't work, and the other person has success with it. What have you seen with other people having success in the mastermind in the detail of the step-by-step process? So in that it really relies on the process as opposed to a certain tactic or strategy.
Well, I think that, as I mentioned earlier, the scripts that you provide are very detailed. It goes word to word. And in many cases, I just read right off the script when I'm on the phone. Now, there might be some questions that are asked by the CEO where I deviate off that script a little bit. But for the most part, just following the scripts that you have created for us is extremely detailed. And even the way you have the trainings laid out, it basically shows you how to set up a Hangout, what type of tools you need for the Hangout, what type of lighting you should have for the Hangout, having a black background and things along those lines to make sure that there's no distractions, and being able to understand how to talk to the people that you're interviewing and make sure they understand that they need to be positioned properly in the video and not have the distractions behind them. So, I mean, you go down to the very finite detail so that everything comes together. And if you follow it step by step, you really can't fail. It might take you a little longer to succeed sometimes, depending upon how much distraction you have out there. But if you're focused on what the training and strategy sessions that you put together and work with the other mastermind members, it all comes together and it starts to flow. And when it starts to flow, you start feeling really good and you start feeling more positive, and then things really come together and you're like, going, wow, this is awesome. So you know why you start your own business.
What's flow mean for you? Like, tell me what like this week looks like when it comes to being able to get in front of decision makers because of the different strategies we teach in the mastermind.
Well, just today, it's funny. Just today alone, I was telling you before we got on the hangout here. I've had probably about a half a dozen calls just this afternoon and Facebook messages from different companies that want to take me up on the offer for the interview. And it was like I couldn't get anything else done this afternoon. I was always on the phone. And that's a positive thing, you know, because it's talking about new business. And tomorrow, I've set up, I think, 5 of those tomorrow. I got another one set up for Monday. And then I've got another half a dozen for the end of next week that I've done earlier this week. So I mean, it's just that's what I mean by flow. Things start to just come in. It's not like you're spinning your wheels, always trying to do something new, trying to find some leads. The leads just start to come to you. And another thing that you've created for me as an aha moment for me was I always built my business on networking and referrals. But you have a new way of being able to get a referral business going, and that's another part of the flow activity. Is in the hangout, you're not just giving them a free hangout, you're giving them a free hangout in exchange for 3 referrals or 5 referrals or however many you want to get from them. And as you get those referrals, it's like the Facebook viral activity, because every one of those referrals wants to do a video with you. They're going to give you 3 to 5 referrals, and all of a sudden you have a business that's going to have hundreds of referrals coming in on a daily and weekly basis. So those are really awesome things for me from my business perspective, and I'm only at the tip of the iceberg right now, and I'm waiting to get down underneath the water and start seeing what else is down there. So looking forward to it.
I love what you're saying on that. I think one of the most valuable things that some people can take away is realize that this is your second time through the mastermind. And a lot of people will go, whoa, you took a mastermind twice? And what we do is we do a 4-month session. And so it's 16 weeks where we go over step by step processes. And it's so robust and so detailed that most people don't catch it all the first time, so they take it a second time. And really, not the second time, their business just starts to skyrocket because they get more comfortable. And we have a lot of people that take it a third time, and it's pretty much the same material. I'm going to say context. It's not the same material, but the context, we just go deeper. Is like, if you do karate, you're doing the same moves over and over, and you go from a white to a purple, then a brown, and then a black belt, and then a third-degree black belt. So we go deeper and deeper and deeper as we go. And so, Paul, are you going to be in the next mastermind coming up?
As a matter of fact, just today earlier, I sent Laura a Skype message saying, hey, I just want to make sure you know I'm in. I don't want to lose my spot. I'm going to continue this thing going forward, and because I had filled out the form, but you never know until you actually get it that's it's going to be done. So I'm definitely in, and I'm looking forward to it. And to piggyback off what you just said, you're always adding things to the masterminds anyway. I mean, you've added a lot of different things from this mastermind, from the first one I was in.
Hey, what do you think about the workshop, by the way?
I didn't get a chance to attend it because I was actually on some calls with customers at the time that you had it. I want to get on the next one, but I hear you're having it Monday. And again, I have 2 hangouts scheduled for that same time. So I unfortunately have not been able to participate in the workshop, but I've heard a ton of positive things from the people that were on it, and that's what got me so motivated. Going, damn, I want to try to change my hangout times around so I can be on the next one.
Well, what we're doing for our next mastermind is we've developed a strategy to help people really get on the phone. And so what we do is we do a sales mastermind workshop where we bring 100 people together, and we work for 25 minutes, and then after that 25 minutes we get on a call together and we discuss what went wrong, what went right. We're back on the phone again. So it's a 2-hour workshop. Nobody in the industry that I know of has even developed such a plan, but it's so motivating, it's so inspiring. So those of you watching right now, if you want to get more information, this doesn't mean you're signing up for anything, but if you want to be notified of what we're doing with the new innovative strategies, just go to the link there. You can see Local Marketing Genius /VIP access, and we're going to give you VIP access to be notified when the upcoming masterminds actually come up. So what we do is we open them up for only 48 hours, then we close them down because we only have limited seats available. So we don't keep it open. I know there's a lot of different masterminds out there that you can kind of get in any time. We go in and we work for 4 months together, and then we shut it down and we reopen it up back again, and then we bring a group of new people, and then we keep going. Or like Paul, we have a huge group that stays, and then what we do is we raise the level of leadership with them, and this is one of what we're doing with Paul. I'm looking for Paul to become an elite in the mastermind and really pour back in the local marketing community and inspire others just the way that he's inspired me at being on this call. So Paul, any last kind of words of wisdom for those that aren't in a mastermind or those that are kind of contemplating about being in a program that will really help them?
I think they're making a big mistake in a mastermind, and especially if they're looking at reputation marketing or any type of online marketing to grow their business. I think joining your mastermind is one of the best values out there. I think for a couple different reasons. Number one, you have a great community, a lot of like-minded people that have great ideas and they share. They're very open. You're a good leader to instill that type of leadership in us. And number two, the value that you bring in your trainings, you take a lot of time out of your weekly, daily activities to help us, to share ideas, to bring people on the mastermind calls and just have them ask questions and be able to brainstorm with you and things along those lines. And I think those types of mastermind activities are going to help people be able to take their business to another level, not let it be stagnant. And like I said, you give a lot of step-by-step instructions as well. So joining the mastermind gets you in front of yourself as well as everybody else in your community, and I think it's been awesome. And I think nobody else would fail if they're part of the mastermind group and they had a focus to do it. I'd recommend you.
Thank you.
To be honest with you, David.
Well, thank you so much. It's incredibly inspiring, all that you've done and all that you're actually doing right now. So I'm looking forward to seeing some great things from you. So again, thank you so much for coming on and really sharing and opening your business up to all of us, especially the tactics that you're currently using get a lot of success. One, you said that you're using Lead Kahuna. You're using the Facebook feature, which is an amazing feature that we've given for free to all our Lead Kahuna members. And then also you're using a good Hangout strategy. But more importantly, you're following a system that works. And lastly, you're actually in a mastermind where you can be inspired and encouraged all the time and get your questions answered, so you don't have to do this business alone. So if you'd like the same type of inspiration, the same opportunities to be able to be laser focused to follow strategies that work, well then do me a favor and just click on the link right now that you see there and go to it and make sure that you give us your name and email, and then we'll notify you the next time it opens up. So in the meantime, I hope that every single one of you will stay focused, get rid of the shiny object syndrome, do one thing, do it incredibly well, and then you'll always have success when you do that. The problem is distraction, and distraction is the number one reason why people fail. Consistency is the number one reason why people succeed. And so if you can figure out in your own business how you can be consistent and not be distracted, well, literally, you won half the battle there. So I hope that you'll join us in the mastermind. We've got a lot of great things this upcoming one, so take care. And thanks again, Paul, for all that you've been given, and congratulations on the great success.
Thanks, David.